On Sunday, November 17th, 2019, Marshal Iwaasa spent his morning home in Calgary catching up on chores and doing laundry. Later that afternoon, he drove to his mother's home in Lethbridge, Alberta. He helped her figure out some issues that she was having with her computer before leaving around 11 p.m. that night. Marshal Iwaasa is 26 years old and was last seen wearing a green hoodie, black pants, red high-top sneakers, and a gray toque. He told his mom that he was heading to the storage locker that he shared with his sister for 6 years, located in the north side area between Sharing and Churchill, 20 minutes away. Then he would be driving back home to Calgary. Marshal drove a dark blue 2009 GMC Sierra truck. When he was trying to gain access to his storage locker at approximately 11:30 p.m., the code wasn't working. He tried to gain access multiple times again throughout the night. He then waited until the building opened at 6 a.m. Monday, November 18th, and stayed until 8:30 a.m. It is unknown what was so important in the storage locker that he spent 2.5 hours in there. Marshal was never seen or heard from again. On January 7th, 2020, Squamish RCMP responded to a call in regards to a missing person, Daniel Reoch. Police have learned that Daniel has not been seen by friends or family since November 25th, 2019, and friends say that it is highly unusual for Daniel not to phone on birthdays or holidays. Daniel's description is as follows. First Nations male, he is 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighs 150 pounds. His hair is brown and his eyes are brown as well. Police are concerned for Daniel's well-being. Several leads have been followed up on. However, Daniel is yet to be located. Daniel was last seen wearing black shoes with white trim around the soles. His right shoelace is black and his left shoelace was white. He was wearing black baggy pants, blue and black tan plaid button-up long-sleeve shirt, and a blue and beige black button-up long-sleeve jacket and dark-colored suspenders. On November 25th at 10 a.m., Daniel had contact with the Squamish RCMP, where he was taken into custody. According to Daniel's family, he was found running around and barely clothed on a bridge, babbling and not making sense when the police picked him up. On November 25th at 5 p.m., the police released him from custody on Finch Drive. On the 25th at 6 p.m., Daniel is seen on surveillance video at Tim Hortons on Progress Way. At 6:45, he is seen at Walmart in Squamish. At 7:07, he is seen back at Tim Hortons on Progress Way. At 7:07, he received a ride from a friend to the Chikamis area. At 11:30 p.m., Daniel's vehicle was believed to have been seen parked at the Lewis Drive and Squamish Valley Road. On November 26, 2019, at 1 a.m., Daniel is seen on the rear deck of a residence in the 6500 block of Squamish Valley Road, and he walked off the deck and through the trail that led to Lewis Drive. On November 26th at 2:20 p.m., Daniel's vehicle was reported as abandoned to the Squamish RCMP. The car was noted to be running and the driver's door ajar. Daniel has not been seen since November 26th, 2019. He wasn't reported missing until January 7th, 2020. Now let's jump back to Marshal Iwaasa's last known location. It is proven to be at the storage unit at 8:30 a.m. on November 18th. There is no video footage of Marshal or his truck, and it is not known if he was alone or not. 5 days later, on November 23rd, 2019, a group of hikers discovered a burnt-out truck at the trailhead to Brian Waddington's hut in the backcountry outside of Pemberton, BC. The hikers take a series of photos and report the discovery to the police. The items at the scene include 3 smashed phones, lots of clothing strewn around the immediate area, an Xbox, a PlayStation, an expired passport. Truck parts are missing, like the steering wheel column. The burnt-out truck turns out to belong to Marshal Iwaasa. The site is approximately 14 hours from Lethbridge, where Marshal was last seen on November 18th. Initially, Marshal's family identified the gaming consoles as belonging to him, but Paige, Marshal's sister, finds his Xbox and PlayStation in his apartment, which confirms that the ones at the scene belong to someone else. There is no video footage of Marshal or his truck, or any record of him filling up gas anywhere between Lethbridge and Pemberton. On November 25th, 2 days later, RCMP arrive at the truck to take photos. The terrain is pretty rough up to the scene, and it causes some damage to one of the police vehicles. On November 26th, Marshal's mother and sister receive a phone call from the RCMP while they are in Hawaii, informing them about the discovery of the truck in the remote area of Pemberton. The family members in Lethbridge begin searching for him, and the missing persons case is filed the next day. On November 29, 2019, Marshall's family set up a Facebook group to raise awareness about Marshall's disappearance. They appeal for video footage from the area he was last seen. On Wednesday, December 4th, BC RCMP announced that the initial search is suspended due to ongoing snowmelt. Also in December, the Pemberton RCMP turned the investigation over to the Lethbridge Police Services. In January 25th and 26th, 2020, a ground search for Marshall begins in Lethbridge, Alberta, out at the Helen Schuler Nature Center. And in May the 21st and 22nd, the truck site and surrounding areas is searched using cadaver dogs. On Friday, May 22nd in the evening, the Iwaasa family is informed that the search has been completed and that nothing was found, and that the RCMP, after an extensive search, had finished with the search. In June 2020, after examining Marshall's personal affairs in the months leading up to his disappearance, including interviews with close friends, as well as his financial, medical, and social media activity, there is evidence to suggest that he was experiencing stress in his life and had become withdrawn, Lethbridge Police stated. And after a thorough examination of the burnt to a crisp vehicle, which destroyed all evidence throughout, that there was no indication that anyone other than Marshall was present at the time the vehicle was torched. Interestingly, that the driving column was missing though. On December 24th, 2020, an extensive second search begins in BC. Lethbridge Police and members of the Pemberton and Squamish RCMP, 12 police officers and 15 search and rescue, along with a helicopter and all-terrain vehicles, are used to access the search site. RCMP fire investigators, several private investigators, and members of the Search and Disaster Dogs Association conducted searches as well. They release a statement to the media that Marshall's case is criminal in nature. Marshall's personal life consisted of renting a basement suite below a family in Calgary, Alberta. He drove a dark blue 2009 GMC Sierra. It is said that he kept his belongings very clean and organized. He attended school in Calgary at SAIT. He was very private when discussing school, and a family member suspected that he may not wish to attend to finish off his last semester to obtain his degree. He would say things like, quote, "In my field, sometimes you don't need a degree. It's just who you know and your experience," unquote. That November, after he was reported missing, his family found out that he hadn't been attending school or even returned to school that fall. He is described as being very kind to everyone and anyone. He enjoyed sports and the outdoors. After graduating high school, he threw himself into fitness and bodybuilding, and that he had many friends with the same pastime. Marshall was a hard worker and worked various jobs from grocery stores to the oil rigs. He was enrolled in the IT program at SAIT and moved into Calgary. Marshall had a few but not many friends in Calgary. The last time Marshall was together with all of his family was in July and August of 2019. They went on a camping trip to Montana for a week. A family member seemed to indicate that Marshall was stressed a little about school, but nothing too concerning. The financial trail for Marshall ended on November 15th, 2019. He has made no transactions since this date. The area where Marshall's truck was found burnt out is in a very remote area north of Pemberton, BC, located near the peaks of Mount Aragon, Shadowfax, Gandalf, and Peregrine. There is a hut called the Brian Waddington Hut in the Felix Creek on the shores of Long Lake. The hut holds up to 40 hikers at a time. And it was this hut that the hikers were off to when they found Marshall's truck. The hut is about 15 to 20 kilometers from the main road. It has two access points, the Felix Creek Forest Service Road, the main logging road used to access the hut, and the Felix Creek Trail. The Forest Service Road ends where the Felix Creek Trail begins. From the trailhead, it's a 2 or 3 hour hike to the hut, which requires online registration for anyone wishing to use it. The drive to the trailhead is a journey across slick mud, gravel, boulders, potholes, and creeks. It's inaccessible by GPS. It requires 4-wheel drive. It's not easy. It requires driving skills. It's the kind of road you wouldn't happen upon by accident. It was here at the remote trailhead to Waddington Hut that the hikers discovered Marshall's truck on November 23, 2019.